But also on disc, just playing our single-player progression, you'll be able to unlock an outfit for every character. And there are also a bunch of really cool customization personal unlocks that you can unlock through our single-player. And multiplayer, actually. There's some really cool stuff. Definitely a lot of unlocks in the game.
Yeah, and actually, to add on to that, we're going to be at Comic-Con next week where we'll be detailing some of the costumes. So if you're really interested in that, you should check it out.
Okay, one more question. Will there be any more guest characters, most notably from the Namco Bandai brand? And how much are you going to be researching on that?
There will be more character announces. I won't tell you where they come from. There will be a combination of first and third party. We do a lot of research. I think a big part of this game is just the fan service and sort of the cool stuff that we can highlight from individual characters. One of the cooler Easter eggs for me in the game is on the dojo level. If you guys remember from Parappa the Rapper, if you're rapping cool, Master Onion will fly into the background into like this super giant size and will sort of pose in the back with the rising sun. But it only came in, that only happened if you were rapping cool, like if you were doing the absolute best on that level. And that's something that we replicated in the dojo. So he'll actually, Master Onion will grow to giant size and fly back there and try to take out the Mauler. It's a really cool interaction. And we've got little nuggets like that thrown out throughout the game, through each of the characters, through each of the levels, the music, the stages. It's just really cool.
I understand. Thank you very much.
You're welcome.
I guess my question is more like looking to have you guys comment on it. As far as the balance of the game goes and its competitiveness, like I noticed that the stage doesn't really interact with the fight, and having them be no health bars, that there's really no like dynamic to the battles where you have to be fearful of anything other than the supers, and you have dodges and ways around that. Is there anything that you're considering adding to the game, or that you're going to add to the game that kind of gives that, not random, but more, you have to be more aware while you're playing, kind of give it that little bit more excitement, like when this, if, for example, Smash Brothers, like when the Smash Orb would come down, people fighting over that kind of stuff, like just to add that extra, like, oh my God, I could die if this happens, you know.
So, truth be told, when I first joined the team and I played the game for the first time, I was kind of afraid, like, oh man, I got to get behind this thing, you know, because I felt the same way, where since there's no health meter, my style of playing was, well, I'm just going to go in and just flail my arms around, and it doesn't matter if I get hit.
Exactly.
Yeah, exactly. And I will admit that the first week of playing the game, I didn't win a single round. And given that, I feel that if you're going into the game expecting, if you have expectations of the game based on previous games that you've played, and you have that sort of mentality, that it kind of limits the way you play it. And I feel that I had that feeling where if I get hit, it doesn't matter, but it does matter. You know, you are increasing your opponent's chance of winning by getting hit, the same as a game that does have health bars. And once I reframed my mentality as far as playing the game, I not only enjoyed it more, but I was doing better, right? Yeah. So I feel that players that do have that same mentality, I hope they go through the same transformation that I did, so you know they can better appreciate the game and the systems.
Oh, thanks, guys.
We can only hope.
He already has like no health, right? So you might as well not have a health bar.
Yeah, exactly.
Well, first I'd like to say I'm a big fan, Clockwork. You're the best. Keep up the good work.
Thank you.
A lot of fun. So my question is, what can the community do, if anything, to promote post-game support for Sony All-Stars? Not just DLC characters and which characters in particular, but balance patching and tweaks if something kind of seems out of hand after the game. Should they go to the forums and post? Should they speak with their dollars? I mean, what is the best way that you would like to receive feedback post-launch?
I would, if I can take this one real quick, I would say we actually have a a telemetry system. Basically, the game is telling us what you guys are doing all the time when you're playing it. So, in fact, while we always appreciate, getting on the message boards or obliterating our Twitter or whatever with your comments, just by playing the game, you're reporting to us, the things that we're doing right, the things that we're doing wrong, if characters are wildly unbalanced or underbalanced. The game reports that all to us, and we're actually able to make corrections to characters, to game systems on the fly without the need to patch. And we will absolutely be doing that as soon as those problems arise.
Okay, just to clarify that, so you mean to tell me that the game is going to be constantly changing and evolving as the game is being played post-launch?
Not in the course of a 3-minute match. We'll be collecting a bunch of data, basically, from the player base as they go online and play against other players. So if we go out there and find out, oh, Fat Princess can do this one move for 3 minutes and generate 1 billion AP, and she's just destroying the online experience because she's so wildly overpowered, the game will tell us that because we get that information right back at SuperBot, and we'll be able to make corrections to that move on a functional level, on the amount of energy that it gives you, on a myriad of different things. And so we'll be able to fix those problems as they arise, and that's our plan, to just sort of actively tackle those things anytime the data tells us that something's going wrong out there.
Yeah, and also, I feel, going back to what I was saying before about, having an open mind and framing your mentality about the game a certain way, I feel that as long as criticism is constructive, I mean, of course, with any game, people are just gonna, be haters and just, spew fire, and that doesn't really help us to improve the game. But if people have given the game a chance and they have concerns with it, I definitely welcome them to, either contact me or post on the message boards, on the Twitter, and we will definitely take it into consideration.
Awesome. Thanks, guys.
All right, so you guys are having online, right?
Yes.
What are you guys doing to make sure the online is decent to level up the community?
That's a great question. So, all of you guys in this room have probably played a fighting game online before, and you know that the online experience can be wildly different. And the reason that most traditional fighting games do this is because they want to make sure that the messages between what I'm doing on my system and what you're doing on your system are being sort of received at the same time. So if the guy I'm playing has a really horrible connection, it'll just slow the whole game down to make sure that the pace of the game and the information that's being communicated between both games is preserved. We had tried a different system with PlayStation All-Stars because we have twice as many players as a traditional fighting game, right? There's 4 dudes in every match. And I don't want one dude in a 4-player match ruining the experience for everyone. So we're trying something new with our online where we actually keep the pace of the game very, very fast. On your side, it will feel exactly like playing the game offline. I know, famous last words. I know you guys are all gonna put me to the test, but it really is a pretty amazing experience. Playing online, I feel exactly like I'm playing the game offline. And we do a couple of things when things go wrong to try to rein it back in and make sure that everyone's experiencing the same thing on all their different screens. But yeah, I think when players play our game online for the first time, you'll see that it feels fundamentally different than I think a lot of traditional fighting games do, because we don't slow the whole game down to try to compensate for lag and latency and things like that.
Okay, thank you.
In the pink shirt right here, we'll end the Q&A section on him.
Hi. My question is, using a super during a super, if everybody has level 3 supers, can everybody use that? Or can you only use a super that's, if you have somebody use a level 2, you could counter with a level 3?
Yeah, so, well, when a level 3 is performed, it locks out all the other players from performing a super. So only one level 3 can be in play at once. But any amount of level 1s and 2s can be in play at any time. So a level 3 will trump a level 2 or a level 1, but level 1s and 2s can, counter each other at will. There won't be a chance for players in Kratos' level 3, he transforms into the giant Ares, the god of war Kratos, and he runs around the map with, the Sword of Olympus, killing everybody. During that portion of the game, that super is still active, so you aren't free at that point to do a super and try to kill him. At that point, we've decided that, the way we've designed it, and hopefully the way players will embrace it, is that once you've gotten to a level 3, the players that have saved up really hard get to experience just to have, you know, the reward of that and kind of run around and have a little, you know, like, oh, screw you, buddy moment, and you know, take everybody else out.